in this past few months, there's dozens of techniques that I've been trying to learn to, take control of my life, to improve my life. And really, there's only one that kind of sums it all up, and that is mindfulness. I was listening to a Shaolin Master on YouTube once talk about this, and it's called mindfulness, which, to be honest, for the past few months, since last year, September last year, sometime around that, I have been like following this discipline, should I say, being mindful around the things that I do. I never associate a name with it. And this Shaolin Master, he, well, I just randomly came across his video, and he talks about it as the process of doing something consciously. And you might say, what does this mean? And if a line from that whole video that it stuck in my head to this day, and I show it to my friends as well, is if you don't know what you're doing, then your life is just a coincidence. And for me, that hit a lot. Now, for other people, like my brother, for example, he looked at me and was like, what are you talking about? Like, he looked at me as if I was a weirdo or something. But it makes sense to some of us. And to explain it to you, being mindful is just the way I see it. There's group A and group B. Now, over here is group 1, group A, should I say. Now, how much of your life currently have you chosen? How much of it do you have control over? How much of it was not coincidence and you decided where you are? Now, if you're an older person, and you have a job, you have a life, you have maybe kids, a wife, then yeah, you've chosen all of this. You probably chose your partner pretty carefully, and then your kids might have been a coincidence, hopefully not. But it's just you've got more control than younger people who are, obviously born into this world. They don't choose where they're born. It's not like there's a spawn point where you know that because you were young at one point. But you didn't choose where you were. You didn't choose your parents. You didn't choose anything around you. Even the school you went to was probably just the closest school to where you live, and that's where you went. And stuff like that. I mean, you can call that a coincidence. I guess that's just, some people call it fate, some people call it luck. Some people are more lucky. Like, I call myself quite lucky. I mean, look where I get to work out at. I mean, it is just a normal park. So, and like where I live and all that, it's different places, different neighborhood, but it's still like the view, and I enjoy myself. I got a lot more freedom than most people might have in different, LICs or NEEs or any other countries, which I am from, by the way. I'm from I think it's an NEE now. It used to be an LIC. But yeah, it's just life here is so much different from where I'm at, and it's just all fate and coincidence. And it's not all about getting to choose where you live and stuff like that, because I don't really count that as being, obviously it's not our choice, and so we shouldn't really be associated with group A. It's a group that we have no choice over. But there is a group A. I call it more of a what do you choose to do with the time that you have in your life? And that's where we get separated, like the weeds get separated, I guess, because young people can go in group B. That's not just adult people. I think group A is mainly just people who life is a coincidence. They fail to realize that, and they just live like that. They adapt. This is the group of adaptation, group A. So the two types of people is you either adapt to life or you have life adapt to you. And now I want to be in group B. Now group A, people who adapt to life, is like I said, you go to education, you go to new school, the subjects are taught there, they're trying to adapt, they're trying to fit in. And even when you go to college, you choose a subject that best, what's maybe easiest for you. So by coincidence you do something, and then maybe that leads you to a certain path in life, and in the end you might either love it or you might just be hating it and you just hate your life. So that's group A, and I don't want to be in group A. Currently I don't associate myself with group A, and I'm not saying group A is bad. You can choose to live life that way. Again, it's all about choice. As long as you've chosen it, I'm just want to make you aware that there are two groups, and I think you need to choose which one you want to be into. And now group B, a place over here, and this is quite just the opposite of group A. These are people who they've chosen the life that they get to live. They make life adapt to them because they are so important and stuff. These are people like Elon Musk, for example. He is like the richest man alive. He can do almost whatever he likes, and life just has to adapt to it. Like he just bought Twitter and it's X now. People just gotta adapt to it, and it's just stuff like these. And you can choose to be in Group B. You don't have to be a multi-billionaire or millionaire, or really even have money, as long as, because Group B is not about how much money and how much respect and stuff you have. It's more about the decisions you make in your life. Again, the decision you make to do with your time. Elon Musk chose to become the richest man in life. Maybe he didn't choose, maybe that was coincidence, but he chose to do something great, and in the end, that's what he achieved. So mindfulness is all about making a decision and following that decision. Because Conor McGregor said this as well. As long as you have the thought in here, and the belief is in here, and you have the courage in here, anything can happen. And so I just want to make you mindful of that as well. Group B is where mindful people are. And Group B is where I want to be. It's where, it's like, if you imagine this road, I started at Group A. I'm like maybe midway, maybe a little bit before midway. And I will get there someday. And once I get there, I think my life will change. And I think this path to becoming more mindful, this is something that will change my life forever. It will shape my life, shape who I will become, and I think it will greatly improve my life, and hopefully it will improve yours as well. There's a poem I want to read out. It's not by me. It's I read it from the book Think and Grow Rich, and I'm not sure who the author is. I think the book is by Napoleon Hill, but I'm not sure who the author of this poem is because I know it's not him. Um, the poem goes like this. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will, it's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but soon or late the man who wins is the man who thinks he can.